Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and some of the stories coming up in today's news. Planes, berries, women and more. It was a wet Tuesday afternoon when the inaugural Jetstar flight JQ371 landed officially for the first time at Nelson Airport, carrying a plane load of passengers including dignitaries from the Australian-based company, along with our airport CEO Robert Evans. The officials had been having a busy morning launching its New Zealand routes across the country, with Nelson being the last port of call for the day, giving the company VIPs a chance to experience some of the best the town could offer for their overnight stay. Mainland was there to catch the airline's launch.
So what can our customers expect? Reliable, consistent, low fares, great customer service and great passion for the greater regional areas of New Zealand. So customers are going to love it, I'm sure.
Are you going to work in closely with our Nelson Tasman Tourism organisation to do special promotions at all?
Absolutely, we're very keen to grow these markets. More people travelling more often, more affordably than ever before. So in partnership with tourism, partnership with the airport, partnership with the region, to continue to grow inbound tourism into this region and get more people travelling.
Yeah, sounds good. And what about concession fares for students? Anything on the horizon as far as that goes?
Our fares are the lowest they possibly can be. We're very proud of our all-day, everyday low fares. So student or grandma, you'll be able to travel at the lowest possible fares. We're delighted to be able to do that.
I love seeing excited chief executives, and we've got three of them in the room today. David, Grant and Rob, congratulations. It's a fantastic result. I want to acknowledge all of the staff at Nelson Airport. You've done a brilliant job of putting together this terminal and working with Jetstar. Linda from Nelson Tasman Tourism, well done. We understand how important this day is for our region, we really do. And to Uncle Andy and Ramari, it's so wonderful to have you here to bless this occasion. It is a really important moment for the city and for the region. I believe Nelson is the best place in New Zealand to raise children, and I think Broad Green Kapahaka Group demonstrated why. They are just stunning young people in our region. I'm so proud that they live here. This is a special day. I congratulate all of you who've come on the first JQ flight down to Nelson. Sounds good, doesn't it? JQ to Nelson. Sounds good. It's a day of celebration for Jetstar because a lot of planning over quite a short period of time, but an intense period of time, commitment and teamwork delivered this result to our region. And it's a day of celebration for people in Nelson. When the opportunity for Jetstar to come into our region was announced, people immediately got behind the bid for Nelson to be one of the destinations, and it was competitive. There was no hesitation. People stepped up and they said, this is what we want for our region. We want choice. So we said more people, more often, more flights, and when you look at those numbers, boy Rob, you've really got it happening in this gateway to the region. It's going to be busy, but we like busy. This is a growing region. Population growth, business growth, tourism growth, it's all happening here. But for that to be sustainable and for it to continue on into the future, we really need the commitment and the partnership with airline companies like Jetstar. And so that for me as a mayor of this city is a delight to be able to have achieved that in such a short space of time. This is going to be wonderful for those of us who like to travel and see family, for those of us who travel for business, for family and friends, and of course for those tourists who are going to come down to this fabulous part of the world.
Dairy farming has come under the spotlight since TV1's Sunday program, which exposed severe cruelty within some Waikato farms. Chrissy Small spoke with Damien O'Connor about MPI's investigation of farm animal cruelty.
Now, Damien, we've had a couple of things recently that, as opposition spokesman for Ministry of Primary Industries, I thought you'd be the best person we could talk to. We just had on the Sunday program the incidents with the calving and the way they're handled after being birthed, and the terrible abuse that's been going on there. And as a former farmer, what are your feelings on that situation and how MPI have dealt with that?
Well, I think, like everyone, I was absolutely shocked and outraged that we had video footage of what was cruel treatment to bobby calves, and I don't think anyone in New Zealand who saw that would condone it in any way. So what's important is that Ministry of Primary Industries, who have responsibility for animal welfare and for food safety and lots of other things, that they enforce the standards that we have in New Zealand. Nothing that occurred in that footage there was legal, and in fact the people are breaking the law, and they should be held to account, and I think every farmer who's seen that agrees with us.
Right, now the MPI have had that footage since September, and according to that documentary, the abattoir involved had no approach from MPI at all. Do you think their processes are slipping a bit there?
Look, Labor and myself has said for a long time that MPI is a big ministry. The national government has thrown into one ministry responsibility from everything for forestry, food safety, as I say, animal welfare, fishing, and it's simply too big to carry out effectively all their responsibilities. And what we have been saying is that in animal welfare and food safety and in biosecurity, MPI have not been doing their job properly. And it's basically because of the structure of this big organisation, and whenever resources get squeezed, and that's what the national government's been doing to all government agencies, then the smaller parts of this big agency lose out and don't have the resources to do their job properly, and that's effectively what has happened here.
Right, so this is causing delays, of course, and meanwhile the animals continue to suffer.
Well, they don't have enough people on the ground. MPI effectively rely on SPCA to carry out animal welfare policing, and that's simply not right. These are issues at the heart of commerce. The dairy industry's reputation depends upon them, and in fact there should be resources taken by way of taxes from the industries put back into policing and upholding the standards of animal welfare and food safety. We do that across other areas of our society, and it should be done across commerce and primary industries.
Yeah.
With the Ministry of Primary Industries putting out a warning over the potential of catching hepatitis A from frozen imported berries. I spoke with Michelle Manson, who is part of the family-run Sue John Berries Company here in Nelson. Michelle, can you tell us a little bit about your business and how long have your family been in the berry business?
Yeah,
please?
sure. So Sue John was started by Sue and John, my parents, back in the early 80s. They began as boysenberry growers and sort of progressed from there. They actually pioneered the retail frozen fruit market back in 86, so coming up nearly 30 years. And we mostly do frozen fruit, also powders, and we sell that through domestic and international markets.
Great. And I understand most of the berries are sourced locally?
About 78% of the fruit we handle is local, and the balance comes from countries like Chile, Canada, mostly, and USA.
Well, and do you have much relationship with those companies that you import them from?
Yeah, the long-standing relationships. Actually, most of the growers that we work with offshore, the relationships go back over 18 years.
Wow.
And likewise with most of our local growers here as well.
Well, that's great. So you've been there and you've seen all their processes?
So John have been there, they audit regularly and heavily involved right from the field all the way through. So we've got systems in place that cover the growing, and then everything's monitored here as well.
Yeah. Oh, nice one. Yeah, no, that's really interesting. So with all that background that you've done and how long you've been in the business, what's your views on the latest health warning over the hepatitis A in the frozen imported berries and MPI's stance on the whole matter?
I found it quite disappointing how MPI have come out with just sort of a blanket response saying that all imported berries are at risk. I feel that they should be saying either which brands are involved, or it'd be quite helpful if they said these are the fruits we've found to be the issue from these countries, because we're finding that our consumers are quite scared, when they're saying that all imported berries are at risk. What should they do? Should they be boiling them all like MPI is suggesting?
Sure.
It's just not practical for most of our consumers have them every day as smoothies, where they're just grabbing them straight from the freezer frozen.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be more information out there as to what fruit is actually at risk, so we as a responsible company can act how we should and actually pull any brands that will, batches that are at risk from the market.
So at the moment, I mean, MPI hasn't contacted you, so you're assuming that everything's okay and you're carrying on business as usual?
We'd had no contact from MPI. How we found out about it was just word of mouth, luckily from another company yesterday. And since then we've been chasing MPI for more information because we understand that they had been working with some companies over the past week, but as we weren't contacted, we thought, well, surely they would if our brand and our products were affected.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So that's interesting. Some companies know that this is all going on and they might be taking appropriate measures where you're left in the dark.
Yeah, and I think that if that is the case, then some brands and companies are aware what products, fruits are risk. That information should be available to everyone in case that we're drawing from the same countries. We need to know ourselves so we can do the right thing.
Like you say, we all need to know.
Yes.
If that's the case. So, Michelle, leading on from there, do you think this will have an effect on your business, or do you think your customers trust you and trust the processes and think it'll be alright?
I think it's going to affect everyone in the berry fruit industry, particularly with the lack of information. How are consumers able to feel safe when brands aren't able to go out there and say, look, it's this batch affected and it's been removed from the market? With this uncertainty out there, I'm sure consumers are going to be scared and they're not going to be purchasing imported fruit.
The Nelson Provincial Museum launched a brand new exhibition this week around the Women of the Empire. Chrissy Small went and spoke to the new museum CEO, Lucinda Blackley-Jimson, about this new attraction.
Lucinda, a brand new exhibition for Nelson. Tell us a bit about it and why it's such an important one.
It's a really exciting exhibition for us to be hosting. It was put together by a wonderful couple in Australia from Dressing Australia, who are textile collectors and curators, and they've focused on the women of war, because most of the exhibitions that we feature the guys who are fighting overseas, and to our knowledge this is the only exhibition that actually focuses just on the women.
Now I see we've got a few local names here as well.
Absolutely. If you follow me around here, we can show you the costumes to do with Mary Newlove. Now she had a tragic story. She was a mother from Takaka who lost 3 children within 1 week, 3 sons in Passchendaele. And we were very honoured to have one of her direct descendants, Gary Newlove, join us at the opening last night. It was very special.
Okay, so look, we've got all these wonderful stories and with the local connections as well. Tell us, how long is the exhibition on, and is it free?
It's free to enter, as all our exhibitions are at the moment, so take a moment to enjoy it over summer, and this exhibition will be on until the 1st of February.
Right. Do you have a personal costume here or a personal story that's one of your favourites?
There are a couple of costumes which are absolutely gorgeous, which I'd quite love to wear if only they weren't historically precious and if only they're a bit larger. So there are some really stunning ones. The costume around here for Lady Anna Stout is one of my particular favourites. This beautiful green velvet number over here. Just the embroidery on the work on that is just stunning.
It is, isn't it? The detail is absolutely, and the fabric, the beautiful velvet. So anyone who's interested in dressmaking as well as history, this would be a perfect place to come and have a look and enjoy this exhibition.
Absolutely. Anyone who's at all interested in fashion, in social history, in costume design and textiles, home sewers, you'll all love it. The stories of women of empire reveal a remarkable and diverse group of women during World War I, including 7 from New Zealand. If I could use one word to describe these women, I'd take it from the wonderful texts in the exhibition, and it would be plucky. These were plucky, tough, smart women, and I'd add enduring, of hardship, hard work and tragedy. Many of the women gave war service in the form of nursing, one of the professional options to women at that time. We don't think of women being on the front line, but this literally did bring them into the line of fire, as attested by the story of Hilda Steele. She witnessed 9 of her female colleagues die after receiving a direct hit by a shell in adjoining Trent in Abbeville, 1918 on the Western Front. And this is Teresa Butler, who was in Belgium working as a staff nurse when the country came under attack. She made a daring escape from the Germans. This is Safia Hussein, who was one of the first nurses from the Red Cross for Turkey, and she was a Red Crescent nurse, and she was at Gallipoli looking after the Turkish soldiers, but she provided nursing services to people from whichever country they're from and help people from both sides. And it's amazing to have this costume here to really acknowledge at this particular time as well, that humanity has no borders.
There seems to be a lot of women here who actually did a lot of service for those countrymen who put their lives on the line. There's a lot of nursing, obviously. Women were the primary nursing caregivers at those times. It's significant, isn't it, with the historical way that the troops have gone out there and the women have been right behind them, if you like.
Yeah, the women were right behind them, and as soon as the war started, women were involved in fundraising, they were nursing, they were helping out every way that they can. I've got a lovely story over there also of Maud Butler, who wanted to fight on the front line and who tried to sneak away to war twice, but she was caught.
And finally, a tragic house fire in Golden Bay has left well-known and loved local artist Chris Finlay's son and his wife without a home, and decades of his artwork turned to ashes. Finlay's son, whose work has been a mainstay in Nelson with his windows artwork on Haven Road's old electric building, was uninsured and has lost everything. Nelson Arts Council has decided to lend a helping hand, and I spoke with Lloyd at Nelson Arts Council to find out how they hope the Nelson community can help. Lloyd, we covered Chris Finlay's son's house fire yesterday, and he's a well-known Nelson mural artist and gets a lot of the community involved in his projects. And we hear now that the community is getting involved to help to give them something back. Can you tell us a bit more about your involvement in this?
Yeah, well, I picked up really from Grant Knowlesley, the Golden Bay Community Arts Council, who are really calling to help Chris in replacing some of the materials that he's lost. Chris is a very prolific artist. He works hard and works really well with the community. So we're getting behind him to get him back on his feet and get him working again, because that's his love and his joy, and it also brings wonderful benefits to the community. So what we're doing is basically we're acting as a support, like, to what Golden Bay are doing in this initiative, and we are acting as a collection point for any of the arts community or the wider community that want to contribute materials or anything that may be of use to him in his next few months working and getting back onto his feet. So anyone who does have stuff that they want to donate to Chris can drop it in here rather than trying to carry it over to the Bay, and we are going to be collecting stuff until the 17th of December, at which point we'll then send everything over.
Great. That's fantastic. It's the community helping community. It's what it's all about, isn't it?
It's absolutely what it's all about, yeah.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Victory 60 Plus is on Tuesdays at 1:30 through to 3:30 p.m. at 238 Upper Vanguard Street. You can join in for cards, games and a cuppa.
The Lantern Celebration is on Saturday the 12th of December from 7 to 10 p.m. at the centre of New Zealand Botanical Reserve. It's a free event. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from the Facilitators. We now look after sales for Mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms Mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
Welcome me hearties to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach walk or swim. Phone 546408.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Here at Yes Shop, we love the word yes.
Yes.
We say yes to kitchenware. We say yes to beauty. We say yes to homewares. We say yes to fashion. We say yes to electronics.
Yes to Philips. Yes to Dell. Yes to Apple.
Happy Cool, Glad, Goldia, Huron and thousands of other products in our store.
Yes!
Say yes to TV shopping that's all about fun, made right here in New Zealand with Kiwi presenters like me.
Yes! Say yes to the ultimate service.
With dedicated presenters taking the product out of the box and showing you how it works.
And what it can do for you. Say yes to our international buying power. That lets us bring you the best bundles at the best bargains.
All from the comfort of your own home.
24 hours a day.
So what are you waiting for?
There's nothing quite like it.
Come with me.
Say yes to Yes Shop.
Yes!
Today's the day when all the wrongs get put right. back in that place when everything was so tight. I'll shout it from the highest heights. I'll paint it in the sky, then the sun is gonna shine. So I say, have a nice day now. All over the world tonight, your colors are now bright. So have a good day. You lost your way, your life was in black and white. At the rainbow's end, you found the strength there to fight. I'll shout it from the highest heights. I'll paint it in the sky, then the sun is gonna shine. So I say, have a nice day now. Yeah. All over the world tonight, your colors are now bright. So have a good day. So I say, have a nice day now. Yeah. All over the world tonight, your colors are now bright. So have a good day. You can fly. You can fly. Fly. So I say, have a nice day now. Yeah. All over the world tonight, your colors are now bright. So have a good day. So I say, have a nice day now. Yeah. All over the world tonight, your colors are now bright. So have a good day.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
Hi, I'm Graham from Classic Gates Engineering. We specialise in all sorts of engineering, classic gates, balustrades, pool fences, do structural engineering, house lots of structural steel work, swimming pool fences. We also do firebox repairs, garden furniture, archways, etc. So for powder coating, sandblasting, all sorts of paintwork, call in to see us, 6 Nelson Street, Blenheim, Classic Gates Engineering.
From Cresswell's on Market Street, we've fitted footwear for all seasons, all reasons. For summer times in the sounds, for solid support on the sidelines, for social events around town, for good times round the grapevines. That's why at Cresswell's we believe in fitting footwear correctly so you get the best out of quality shoes and sandals and can then get the best out of life.
Cresswell Special Service, it's unique, helping keep Marlborough on its feet for over 60 years.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Waimea Telecommunications, specializing in free-to-air digital television, internet broadband connections, telephone and telecommunications systems. Call Julian Toon at Waimea Telecommunications on 544-4203.